Do use Vault, my fellow gamers. Here, I'm going to talk about some werewolves. In front of you, though, is the mummies that come in the mega army for the undead. First thing I had to do with these guys, very first thing, is cut off the horsetail parts of their heads. I just couldn't take it. It was too much. It was insanely too much. So yeah, they left real quick. I just have all the parts laid out so that I can try to make the most out of the two sculpts for the torso, the bodies, and the capes. So that's enough similarity there and redundancy. So now I have to mix and match weapons and try to make these 10 guys not so identical. For the werewolves, these guys make me sad. We'll talk about the good sculpt first. We'll go over here. All right, so of course I'm doing a Halloween theme for my undead. It's one of the things that I do. I paint a model during Halloween, the whole thing, and it's just get the magic of the night a little bit in there to an undead army. And really, it's an undead a model that needs to be painted that way. So here I'm not a big fan of the ball joint type arms. I mean, you can change it around kind of. The head's the same way. You can bend them how you want to, which is nice because mostly these Mantic models are built one way, and that's it, unless you're going to mod the mess out of the model. So these things with the ball joint, it leaves a lot to be desired. I just put a bunch of liquid green stuff around the ball joint because it leaves this huge shelf kind of that looks very unnatural. So you want to smooth it out to the rest of the body. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm going to let that dry, then we're gonna sand that down and get those contours right. More than likely what this is going to do, because this is liquid green stuff, is it's going to crack and shrink. Liquid green stuff is only really good for very small holes and stuff like that. It was basically made to fix fine cast, which is just, it's garbage material. But yeah, the shelves on these joints is terrible. The tails fit really well. This one tail is just for this one body. And the pumpkins help out. The pumpkins help out a great deal because of the other arm. Here we've got this knuckle dragging arm. It's cupped as if he's swimming for the Olympics, and it's down and low. I guess it's supposed to be knuckle dragger. And I built the two models with the hand down on the ground and flocked everything, not flocked, but put ballast on the bases. And I'm like, this looks bad. This looks bad. This hand design, this arm design is garbage. Why not give us another one of the claw hands? You know, they're a pain to clean because you got to clean every single finger of mold lines, but it looks more werewolfish. Why they're giving us a knuckle dragging hand, like I said, it's swimming or it's asking for a handout, I don't know. But what I did is I just nestled a nice little jack-o'-lantern right there in his hand, like he's picking it to take it home to his kids. So, and something else that I did is I carved the nipples off. You know, I'm down for anatomically correct stuff and whatnot. The original Games Workshop models, some of them had, you know, hanging junk and whatnot. And if you look at the Demonettes of Slaanesh, they definitely had some anatomical stuff. But nipples on werewolves, I draw the line. It's like Batman should never have nipples. Werewolf should never have nipples. So I just trimmed those down, gave him the comic book character look, where he's like wearing a spandex suit that's skin tight. But yeah, this arm, I have some serious qualms with it. I dislike it. What I might do with the other set of arms, because since this is Mega Army, I got 2 sets of werewolves, is I'll take the fingers and I'll run an X-Acto knife through the joints. And then I'm going to spread them out and try to make myself a claw hand out of that. If not, I'll have more pumpkin holders. But yeah, it's like, why on earth did they give you 2 hands that are scooping things? Like, you know, what do? Do they poop on the ground and they're taking care of their own poop? You know, they walk themselves. Like, come on, guys, why? This hand makes no sense at all. So my guys will be scooping up pumpkins, and this other guy is like fist bumping your face. You know, they should have just given us extra claw arms to where all the werewolves are happy looking. They could be doing the jazz hands, they could be doing high fives, you know, whatever. But yeah, this arm that they give you is complete garbage in my humble opinion. And once again, the the ball joint here, it enables you to, you know, have the arm in any direction, but it also, it's like you have to sculpt the muscles. You have to smooth the contours and sculpt the muscles in, especially one that's up like this. You have to sculpt. There's an individual muscle that's underneath here that nestles between the bicep and the tricep, and it goes in here, really. I don't know if I'm going to be that OCD. I might, because I want my werewolves to look cool. I mean, they're werewolves. I love these guys. I actually enjoy the heads that they came with. They came with the big spiky ears, nice fangs, pretty good detail on the faces. What stinks is that most of these, all of them really, the mold line runs down the snout and then in the middle of the forehead splits down each ear. It's crazy mold line, and it runs right down the face, like through the teeth and all that. Just runs right down. It's terrible mold line. And to have with this rustic material, this stuff is not the best. I don't know if it could survive a nuclear blast, but if any miniatures can survive that, it's going to be this rustic garbage. But, you know, you do what you can. You know, I'm trying to make lemonade here with the pumpkins. These are resin pumpkins from Green Stuff World. I don't know if they offer these anymore. I'm actually going to have to buy a whole bunch more because all I have is this little baggie. And if I'm doing an undead army, I might need some more pumpkins, yo. So I've used three of my pumpkins on these 3 guys. Now I did put together some other models that I did not put pumpkins on, which is a shame. And I may have to remedy that because the pumpkins add a whole lot. And I just love painting jack-o'-lanterns and pumpkins. And I do have a really awesome tool. I don't know if I've already shown it, but it's a leaf puncher. And it's fantastic. I can, when I'm doing more for the undead, I can show you guys my leaf puncher. It's the best way to make realistic miniature leaves there is, bar none. I have bought the colored, it's like this weird seed package stuff from Green Stuff World. Doesn't work. It's not very realistic at all. I actually have a model that has some of those on it still in my collection. But I'm going to use the leaf punch for these models. And with that being said, you can actually paint the leaves too, because the leaves do not retain their color. Unless you do something, I think Plasmo, the model painter on YouTube, he has something where you pick lichen and other green plants or flowers or whatnot, and instead of putting it in a clear, see-through container, you're going to put it in an opaque container, and that way the sunlight doesn't bleach the color out of the plants. So the green, the chlorophyll in the lichen or whatnot doesn't leach out and become pale and hard. So maybe we could do that with autumn leaves. to keep the oranges, reds, and even the kind of yellowish greens and whatnot, the really beautiful colors. Maybe that's something that can be done. I'm definitely going to try it this autumn. Oh, you know it, because the Undead Army is going to take a long time to finish. It's a lot of stuff. But I just want to touch base on these werewolves. The sculpts, they've been out for, I don't know, 10 years, whatever it is. And they're not the best. I like them. I like that an army has werewolves. You know, Games Workshop held that ball for, 30 years? And, you know, they never put werewolves in their army. You know, the closest we got to it, they had vampires and mummies and skeletons, zombies and all that stuff. But to silver screen creatures, you had the Van Karsteins. That was clearly Dracula. And then in Blood Bowl, you had the Frankensteiner. And he was a really terrible sculpt miniature. And he was on a small base. Yeah! You know, man, he's Frankenstein, dude. He's a monster. Put him on a base. But anyway, and all he's doing is he's holding his one arm out like he's going to clothesline somebody. It's a terrible sculpt. You guys Google image search that and cry, because he's a terrible sculpt. I think I still have it. Pretty miserable. But never had a werewolf. So I'm much happier with the Mantic, because they don't have just one werewolf. They have two. They have the Lycanus as well, and I love that. The sculpt, it's metal, it's on a big base. It's awesome. It has a lot of work to do with it, with mold lines, creases. It's terrible, but once you get it done and smooth everything out, it's a nice miniature. It should be, because you partway sculpted the daggone thing, which is what you have to do with these guys. Luckily, I only have 6 werewolves. I've heard a lot of people say that they're overpriced for what they do in the game. I've got 6 of these and 2 Lycanus. I think I may just leave that at that and focus on other things. I do have some more things that will be coming up for unboxing when they get here. But yeah, if you guys are struggling with the werewolves, just know it's going to be in your own ball court. Try to find something to do with these hands. Maybe even coil up some green stuff to make it look like poo. I mean, these could be / monkey werewolves, and they could be throwing poo. I don't know. I like to poke at these guys that produce these games and let crap like this happen. This arm is pretty much unexcusable. Hopefully the other pack of miniatures that I have 2 of the punching fists. At least I can have like one doing like the bro fist up in the air. I don't know. Hopefully it's not 2 more of these scooping hands. This is just really, it bothers me. But it is what it is. So anyway, you guys take it easy. Stay safe out there. Save some money for gas. And I'll talk to you later. All right, carry your lays on.